Hi, everybody. There we are. We have a couple of questions this evening. And one is from Susan Hardy. I'll just bring this down a little bit. Excuse me. There we go. Thanks for sending a few questions in, everybody. And this is a question. It's kind of interesting in a way. She's talking about. Oh, no, I have to figure out which one is first. Okay, sorry. She has two questions about the same thing. When I do the color meditation and I breathe out a color, often an image of an object like a lemon or for yellow, like a lemon should be comma, for yellow comes into my mind. Is that remembering or is that creating the color? In a kind of a way, it's creating the color, but that's okay. Most folks, when they begin to try this particular kind of meditation, and you might all remember it was a CD, and I asked you to be aware of a color, and if you found it difficult to do so, think of an image that related to that color. And that would be what you do in the beginning. There we go. And in doing that, a couple of things start to happen. And maybe I should read the second part of the question. The color meditation is practice. What does it help to open? Is it a method to learn to remember who we are more? Are there other ways to access the energy forms that are past lives or even deeper or other states? Is perceiving like remembering? Many say remember who you are. I struggle with what remembering is. Well, it's one method of preparing a system. As you all really possibly remember, when you're engaging with inner growth, what you're really doing is bringing to bear energy that can occur on upper centers in a way that is different than how you personalize the world. In other words, how your personality is set up. Your personality is set up, actually, to operate out of the root gonad and solar plexus. Sometimes some people think that you don't operate out of the root and gonad center anymore. And some people don't quite think that way. You only operate out of the solar plexus, maybe the root center. The gonad center is given a bad name. And basically because of the concept of sexuality. And it's almost like a man-made idealization when that begins to happen. The gonad center is really a will center. And it's not often thought about that way because primarily the engagement that we have culturally is related and physically in the world is related directly to sexuality and the propagation of the species. Nothing negative there. It's just what we add to it and how we engage with it and how it's fundamentally brought to bear on our youth, for example, People are afraid that our youth will be in bad shape if they only think of sex. And often, in rebuff to that, there's a great thought about never telling our youth anything about sex, because that would bring it to their mind more. I'm not a big propounder of that particular theory personally, but nonetheless, we are human beings and we engage with that level very physically. We also engage with ourselves very physically. In other words, we look in the mirror and our physical appearance is very vital and thought to be the key factor of our relationship with personality and our levels. It truly is, basically. It's a fairly low engagement, but everybody has a body, and if you don't have one, it seems that it might be very difficult to communicate with you. So, complicated situation there. Our dilemma is, with this particular kind of meditation, was meant to attempt to cultivate a few moments of quiet, meaning something like this. Our mind and our logic puts forward an expression related to our past way of engaging, and of course related to the ideas that we have here on this plane about how memory is coveted and spoken about as if it's a very important thing, and it is in our world. And also our relationship with our logical engagement, with building cues towards an end, a target, a particular answer to a great question, whether it be about the universe or whether it be about our internal cells, whether it be scientific or whether it be philosophical or religious. It doesn't matter. It is related directly to this logic that we have, is related directly to our cultural background. And so when we're dealing with this thing we call the personality, we are primarily involved in a logical manner, charged emotionally, highly charged emotionally, and our responses are related to this thing we call a kind of feeling, as if our view is better than someone else's view. And so this is the tendency that we have, and it comes out of a link with energy coming into us, because personality is only energy, and we are remarkably engaged with similar attempts and engagements with life as we have practiced from the time of our initial cultivation of self, very young, early years. So when you're dealing with this, we're trying to deal with acquiring a couple of seconds in the beginning that relates to understanding something beyond what we construct. So, I often said, in the beginning, if it's red, think of an apple that might be red, or think of your version of something. Don't care what it is, your choices. That might show you a color green, a lawn, or a granny apple, your choice. Yellow, a lemon, as Susan talks about. And when you're doing that in the early stages, if you've been meditating, you may begin to notice different responses in your body as you express or attempt to perceive a color of some kind. You may notice, for example, for some, green may be involved with maybe the brow. So this is one aspect of this exercise. If you notice that, fine. It might be yellow that's involved with the brow center. It might be red that's involved. It might be blue. It might be orange. Don't look for getting an answer. That's the logic of the personality. And this one is so fast and furious. It will speak out. It's, oh, my brow is such and such. Because you've maybe read a book that says, well, it should be this color. If it is, that's really good. Do the best you can not to do that. And when you're doing this, remembering is kind of like this. You realize, I think in the meditation I say, and now think, be aware of the color green. I'll use that color again. Quiet. See what happens. Well, here's the complaint. I don't perceive anything. Oh, well, then don't say you perceive something. I think I went up through the rainbow kind of thing, and think of the color orange. Quiet. When you're doing this on your own, you can give yourself as much time as you want. And when you're using the CD, if you are, and I think with this one not very many people do, but there's two of these that not very many people do, CDs especially. And once you have done one of the CDs, normally folks say, oh, well, I did that one. These are energy experiential CDs. You're trying to learn something. You're trying not to assess and be right about something. You're trying to perceive something without adding anything. It's tricky. This is a real good time to be as honest as you can. And don't give yourself a hard time for not perceiving something. And don't give yourself a great kick in the wonderful, able self for seeing something. It's not about seeing, it's about perceiving. And it can start to be a soft link with another kind of relationship with mind. We usually associate mind with this thinking form, and that's okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But in this particular case, remembering is not related to lifetimes, although it could be. It's related to perceiving. And sometimes you'll begin to perceive quiet because the personality can't come up with something that it needs to see to validate itself. And that's where you're trying to softly stretch these maybe 1 minute or two, or 1 or 2 seconds into a longer, maybe 10 seconds or 20. If you do this, It's stretching the mind construct that you have cultivated with your personality into a state or an actual state of mind, a different state than what you're used to, can link up with the kind of personalized formulas that you have cultivated within your view of you in the world, your identity, the way you think you need to be valued or devalued in some instances. What you're trying to do is not use that particular kind of bracketed formula that we all have in relative common. In other words, we all use it to some degree. Right in the midst of saying that, it's pretty interesting that we have a very difficult time being pretty straight with what we're perceiving because we're not sure what we should be perceiving. And that is the right way to look at it. Don't be sure what you're supposed to be perceiving. Let perceiving begin to take place on a different level than what you're used to having it take place. If nothing happens, good. Something happens, fine. If something unusual happens, you may not be able to notice it anyway. And what do I mean by that? This is an important thing. Something may happen related to a mind state or a higher emotional state, but your personality will interfere with perceiving it because it's already set up to perceive something relative to what it thinks needs to be perceived. There's an anticipation there that is exceedingly quick, faster than you can believe could occur. And we lean on that fast response. We lean on it as a value, as a characteristic of an individual, you or me, that may find it conclusive in our versions of how important one is when that actually happens. Because that is part of the kind of bracketed routines and characteristics that we honor very much in this particular realm of how we function in that realm. Not a negative thing, just what occurs. You're trying to stretch that, move it beyond what you might believe it should look like, with no devaluation attached to it, and hardly any elevation. In other words, you might see it and not quite get it, and you might not see it, but it's there. Because the personality does not want to stretch beyond its particular boundaries. It's the nature of self-protection. Don't think about that as negative, please. It's the nature of our nature to do so. Although, very interestingly enough, at the same time, we're exceedingly curious as to what might be beyond what we already think. And then, reflexively, we assist ourselves to move in a direction when we're listening or perceiving or seeing. We wish to squeeze what we believe must be true as the nature of what might be real and the only reality. In other words, we protect ourselves and our views. It's what we do all the time. And it's most likely, most folks don't perceive that they're protecting themselves. And even if they are, so what? It's the right thing to do. This is your idea, you know? So this is an interesting question in that there is a possibility in this particular kind of practice to engage with a mind level that helps you to listen more within you than you could before. You're more receptive, in a way, than gleaning a particular, come up with a target, engage with it, you've fundamentally engaged with it, you got the right color, now it's over. That's the logical, emotional logical way that we normally do things. So just trying to get a little beyond that frontier into a place where you can allow yourself to be curious about something that's a little beyond the edge of what you believe things have to be. And that opens the door to a mind level. And that mind level is just connecting with a stream of consciousness that doesn't have the same protective nature within what it expresses. And this one's very hard because our beliefs are quite strong and they are important for us. So we're not knocking the beliefs. What we're trying to say is, can we stretch beyond that thing or that way of engaging that we believe as a personality? Can we stretch a little beyond that? And in doing so, what begins to happen with this is the brow center may open. And all of you know that if the brow opens, the throat center begins to open. These are ways to just fundamentally stretch them a bit. And that will start to open centers behind the neck, going upward, and centers, an aspect of a center at the heart center will begin to open just a little bit. And this affects the three lower centers. They're not negative centers. They're just in different positions. And from the ground up, we grow, but it includes the ground. And from the upward centers that open, Sephiroth or chakras, or whatever you want to call them, it shifts the lower ones. When the lower ones are shifted, remember, energy comes in those and you use them to cultivate a personality. So your personality's way of engaging may shift a bit. And you will miss a little bit how you engaged before. And usually the missing part is related to the control that you have around how you should be. And it takes a little while for you to find another balance point in your personality. A little while, I don't mean a long period of time. I'm talking short periods of time, like a week or so. But if you start getting really frustrated about noticing something you couldn't notice within you before, because we all have different characteristics and we all have some similar characteristics. And if you notice some of those coming up more, then what you have to do is remember some of the tools the best you can. And it will help you to calm your elevated responses. Because elevation means they come out so you can see that you have them, so you can find a balance in that energy that you're not used to having as much of. I hope that helps a little bit, Susan. I was always a little bit nervous about that particular CD, simply because I thought two things. Number one, people won't use it because it's so simple. And the other one was, once they started to use it, and then they would wonder what the goal was. What's the target area? So over the years, I've talked about these so-called target areas. But in some of them, the target area that you believe might be important moves out of the emotional logic that we have. We have to do things right, get things exactly the way they should be, this kind of thing. And we're not comfortable with the unknown. And especially when we don't know what we're looking for. And this is legitimate, no doubt about it. But in any case, this one is one of the tools that you can actually link up a little bit better with another level of mind or emotional mind. And you can learn how to pull back and watch inside a little bit better than what we're normally used to, without looking for a perfect answer. The exercise will show you, through experience from time to time, something different than what you're normally used to. I wish you well with that. And hopefully that can occur in whoever attempts to use it for that purpose. Hang on here. Just go to the next question. This one is from Della, and she says, sometimes I feel like everything happening around me is just too much. Okay, just so to give you a preamble, this is a question about increased energy flow and the need to find a new balance, which is not always comfortable. But you can. You have a reflex to do that. In the mind, in the nervous system, in the emotional disposition even. It could be anything. The lights are too bright, for example. The sound around me is too loud. The voices coming at me initiate or frustrate me. It's like I'm overstimulated. I can feel my senses are heightened, but it is all coming in too fast. I know it's part of the process of growing, and though I do use the tools sometimes, there are times I forget. Welcome to being a human being. That's when the reactions come in. I feel guilty that what I can normally handle is all of a sudden impossible. Can you please speak about this heightened state of intensity, how it's affecting us and others around us? Well, if you took a look at this from, once again, a chakra or Sephirotic system, what have we got? So if we have a center, one, I'm going to talk about the throat center here, because in a kind of a way, that's been a target in the East for a tremendously long period of time, because of the idea I was talking about just previously, because of the gonad center being a center of will, personalized will. In other words, it somehow is really important in the world, our world, if you have a strong willfulness to get what you want, when you want it, and how you want it. It's the nature of everyone here on this planet. It's the nature of them really feeling good about themselves. All of us, in that kind of way. So, in the old traditional way, if the throat center could be opened more, it would stimulate the brow center. And then, as I said before, upper part of the chest, but as well, a small series of centers goes straight up into another level. So possible communication link with a higher state might be able to occur. Well, boy, isn't that a signal for the personality to say, I'm linked up to the higher center, and therefore, I'm always right. It doesn't work that way. There's a fusion that takes place in the personality, and that fusion I'm not going to talk about too much, simply because there are those who would say, well, they have that particular fusion. Nonsense. Not real. It doesn't happen like that. It happens from the higher level down, not from the lower level up. All kinds of things can be gained in relationship to the personality with the throat center coming on, but it takes quite a while to be able to be okay with you not being the overall boss all the time. And that's only related to the lower aspects of the throat center. Now think about this, please, in a different way. That throat center, as it opens, stretches the membrane of the brow center. What's that mean? It means you start thinking that what you're talking about in some conversation with somebody, you start noticing when you're filling in gaps. It's not as real as what you're talking about. There's a level of honesty that begins to occur that you're not ready to handle yet. And it's not in a negative way that it happens. It's just the first thing you see, wow, that's not exactly how it was. Somehow you remember something differently to suit the personality than when you're remembering in relationship to the mind plane. Hasn't got anything else that it needs to, let's say, revise to fit your personality. As soon as you see that, and that the revising that you actually do, in other words, an occurrence occurs, and you look at that from one aspect, yours. No negativity attached to this. This is what everybody does. Don't tell somebody they're doing that, because they'll be upset at you for pointing it out. And they'll think that you're the one who does that. That's nature. That's the way it is. So when you're looking at it, you begin to see that, wow, okay, I'm not sure that really was like that, but it seems to have been like this, differently than what you said. You start seeing those things. Puts pressure on the personality. Some used to call it soul pressure. In other words, the pressure of being able to perceive something that was more real than anyone else could see, and it's not in alignment with your personality. Emphasis on the last phrase, not in alignment with your personality's purview or review or constructive engagement with being right or wrong, for that matter. So this is a vulnerability, and it affects the heart. So that heart center is strange because it enables you to see into yourself where you don't want to see. So tiny little pieces, little by little, usually occur over our lifetimes. But every now and then there's a little boost of energy that can occur, helps you to begin to go just a little beyond the boundaries of your personality, as I was talking about in the previous question. And this can be very, very disturbing because the balance point of how you brought your personality together was to preserve exactly how you believe things should be. And this is fought by each and every individual. And spiritual folks do it too. They battle like crazy. No, this is the only way you can do this. No, this is more right than yours. Yours is bad, and mine is great or good or whatever. All that is personality oriented. But if you have an increase in energy coming in, just even a tiny little bit from the upper centers, that throat center and that brow, a little bit of that heart center, that changes the emotional center. And it can feel like as if it's just pulled the center in a different way, and the gonad center or the root center. Because these systems grow as well into levels beyond the personality's normal purview, normal way of seeing things, engaging with things. Because our personality is only energy. Granted, there's like a tree, branches. You do this one a lot more, you act like that a lot more. You do it this way, it makes you feel better. You do it that way, it makes it feel better. So it's got lines of habit that occur in it to hold it together in a kind of personalized symmetry. In other words, self-centered focus that validates each and every move you make. Because this is the nature of how we do things in this world. And culturally, we're trained that way, in a kind of strange way. But nonetheless, it seems to work out much of the time. So this is how the energy operates. But there's no negation in it, but there is, as you say, Della, more awareness, more perception. And the body the body form at this level, emotionally, mentally, physically, the background and the backbone of how you function in the world and have trained yourself to do so, and others have helped you with that, it starts to shift a bit. And that's a pressure. A few weeks, a few months, a few days sometimes only, a few hours sometimes. And you revise, reconsider. One way to do it is using the life map, the balancing, the redirecting, the pump, moving that energy up and down, using the hands to calm the emotion down, that one along the clavicle. And also talking to yourself and being okay with you. For everyone, there's a lot of good things in every single being. I don't care how not able they are in some things. There are a lot of good things. And we're focused often on the negative. Just think about it. We look for things, or reflexively find things in others that are, they should have been able to do. If it were me, I would have been able to do that. What? Okay, that's fine. But you have no idea what they're going through and their relationship with them. You only have an idea, and not a very fulfilled one, not a perfect one, about what you're going through. So what I would suggest is you try to do some of this self-talk. Recognize that you're a good person. And for all of you out there, same thing. But at the same time, realize that you judging you, not a good thing. You elevating you, nonsense. You're already able, you're already functioning at these levels the best you can. And taking a really good look at that is what you're trying to do, so that you can be honest with yourself. That's all. You're not doing that to beat yourself up. Defensive structures are very well developed on these planes. Try to be kind and respectful and realize the goodnesses. Try to do that the best you can. You'll see them, and you may revise some of those places in you, understanding them differently. And the ones you beat up on, you'll revise them and try to understand them differently. Be okay with that. You're just a human being. No offense to being human at all. I hope that helps a little bit. I'm just going to take a look again, see if I might have missed anything. I think I talked about most everything. Yeah, well, you realize the last question, how it's affecting us and others. What you're really doing is enabling yourself to become more functional at a different level. So, and that is the same thing that might happen to others around you. So, trying to find a balance point as quickly as you can is helpful. Because if you find a balance point as quickly as you can, others may attempt to find a balance point as quick as they can. Almost like an automatic. I wish you well with that, as I would wish myself and anyone else under those conditions. And hopefully those conditions continue. And remember, there are all kinds of definitions about what spirituality is. And every now and then, try to laugh at some of them. And even laugh at some of the ones that happen with you. It's a wonderful idea, this inner growth. And it can be uncomfortable, but boy, it can really be very comforting at the same time. Well, let's now move towards meditation. And we'll meditate for close to an hour. And then I'll come out and just ask you to do the balancing and grounding. I wish everybody well, and thank you for those questions that come in. Always can use more. I wish you well. Take care.
Devi Shankari Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Uma Parvati Shive Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Maya Vishwamohini Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Ishwari Narayani Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Nitya Parameshwari Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Jagadambe Janani Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Mamba Lalita Devi Tvam Ananda Sagari Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Triambake Devi Narayani Namosthu Shanti,
Now we'll just do the balancing and grounding, and have a good evening, everybody.